one of the ideas that gets harped up on this channel a lot is the idea that it all starts at home. When it comes to a lot of the situations and issues that as a society, it doesn't matter what society, what culture or anything else like that you come from, all of it really does take place and begin to ferment in the household. So upbringings, environments, habitats, they're all insanely important into the development of a human being. So when Atheism is Unstoppable does a video on interracial adoption, I've got to be here for it, man. All right. Now, this actually ties into a older video on the channel with Charlize Theron, because she interracially adopted a black child who she's raising gender fluid without a husband or a man in the house. If you are a viewer of the channel, you know how we feel about that. So yeah, this really just goes into hold on. I think a better way to say it is this takes a deeper dive into what the more of the nuance of interracial adoption, and I'm fascinated by it. So let's get into this video.
Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and I believe grandmother, although they don't seem to call her that.
Okay, so what happened to Jada Pinkett? Because back in the day, she was bad, okay? Jason's Lyric, what other movie was she in? Minister Society, Different World. She was dope. Like, now she's old. Like, I thought she'd stay like, she was never like chubby or fat or anything else like that, but I didn't see her slimming the way that she has. And, she doesn't quite, I don't know, she didn't age as expected, but hey, it's not mine, so I ain't got to worry about it. And baby girl right here, 35% every day.
They got together around the round table. I think it's called Red Table Talk. It has a huge following on Facebook. They did a video. The video's title, Should White People Adopt Black Kids?
Yo, shout out to Devin Tracy on this one, because I can't sit through these types of shows. Red Table Talk, The View, The Real, they're all just estrogen, gynocentric overload, where it's a bunch of hens pecking at each other, boosting each other up. Yeah, I don't need no man culture, that type of stuff. Girl, you could do it. You fierce. You a warrior, sis. Yes, slay queen. That's where all that nonsense comes from. I personally cannot stand listening to it. So I appreciate that he put this video together.
Well, you better hope white people should adopt black kids, because they adopt about 77% of all the kids. They're the ones doing the adopting. There's the pie chart. But I love the title. I love the idea of it all. Are we going to be asking if black parents should adopt white kids? Me
personally, as long as the kid is taken care of, fed, has a roof over their head, and somebody there to hug them, it don't matter if Marvin the Martian came down and said, I want to have your babies. And like, hey, if you willing to take care of them and raise them properly, Marvin, I'm 100% on deck with you, brother. I F's with you.
Statistically normal is that? I mean, on this chart, it says 6% of adoptive mothers of kindergartners in the U.S. in 2011 were black. Yeah, but that's blacks adopting blacks, primarily. White women, they're adopting all sorts of kids of color. Last time I heard a white guy being raised by black parents.
Golly, Will Smith is so lanky. She's just not attractive. Oh my goodness. The older one's alright though. I mean, Jada's like I was saying, Jada's not an unattractive woman. I thought she'd be a little not healthier, but have a little bit more to it, But she definitely still gets the 35%. Her mom ain't too bad too, but what the hell happened with that daughter? It might just be the septum ring or whatever you call it, whatever's in the nose. It's turn off.
It was The Jerk, Steve Martin.
I want you to.
Yeah, we're going to fast forward through a little bit of that because I don't see much of a point in it.
It's time you knew.
On this Red Table Talk, sometimes we see white people who are adopting black children as trying to be white saviors.
Yeah.
And I get why there's not trust. Why would your community...
Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Yeah, Charlotte still looked like Charlotte. I don't know her actual name in real life, But yeah, she was the baddest one to me in Sex and the City. Like really, like what was her name? Kate Cattrall. She looked her best back in her mannequin days. Cynthia Nixon was very neurotic. Like her character was super neurotic, if memory serves me correctly. And plus, she got like that bobblehead thing. And whereas I am a huge fan of the redheads, like she just didn't carry it well. And well, Sarah Jessica Parker has Sarah Jessica Parker's face. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, she by default she was the hottest one.
It's my community with its babies.
We're talking in communities now. We are not individuals, we are representatives of communities.
Well, yeah. I mean, you are literally wearing official ambassador of the white race, even though white's not a race, but whatever. You're wearing that shirt. I mean, you represent everything that you are in all things that you do. To be 100% real, but it all is supposed to wrap itself around into being the individual. And to go back to the start of this video, that's where the home training really kicks in and why it's so important.
And we have the girl from Sex and the City who didn't her character adopt in that show? Or maybe she had a kid. I don't know, but what are you expecting adoptive parents to be doing to the kids? What are we expecting? Do you want to have a competition? Who's better at parenting? Who is better at parenting? Oh, God. Who is better at parenting? Paddington Bear!
Parenting? Parenting. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Who is better at parenting? Do you want to do that? Because you could...
Yeah, I mean, if we sit here and do a side-by-side, it's so... How do I put it? It's so nuanced. There's so many details that goes into each and every one, including the child themselves and who made the children themselves. Because we like to forget that ultimately we are the combination of the two people that made us, regardless if we knew those people or not. You know, and that's really where the nature nurture thing comes in, because you can sit there and give some kids the world and it goes completely over their head. I mean, we all remember the Malik McDowell thing now, don't we?
Come up with
Hold on, not to say he had the world, but he really had the world in his hands with the NFL thing, but he screwed that up.
Few different metrics on how to measure that, and you're probably gonna... Look, I got 3 syllables for you to end this conversation. Her
eyes look insane in this shot. I think he did that on purpose. Like, look at her left eye, look at her right eye. Seriously, look at him. Like, a little nutty.
Ma. Goodbye.
We're breaking down a controversial topic. Should white people adopt black children? I don't know.
If you can afford it, yes. If you can't afford it, no. And if you can't afford to have the child, don't have the child. Plain and simple. Like, ultimately, I feel like the two people that make the person should be the one to raise the person. This world does not feel the same way because we have all these children running around here with absolutely nothing. And the thing that really sucks is that once they get past a certain age, no one's going to adopt them. Like, she didn't get a 6-year-old, more than likely. And I know Charlize Theron didn't get some 8-year-old kid. No. They get them young and then try to guide them in their own really weird ways.
How every person of color has gotten through this. I don't understand. Yeah.
They're so wise. Look at her. She looks like an Egyptian queen. She has a big Rolo stuck to her head. I don't know why she's wearing that. But...
Come on, dude. It's a headscarf. And she's going for the whole gypsy look. I mean, you can tell that in the earrings. But there is a ton of smug self-satisfaction on her face right now.
You can tell it's all about the look, isn't it? This whole thing is a vanity project. Blacks, you're so amazing. How do you survive? Just...
day by day, I suppose.
Bravo.
Best known for her role as Charlotte on Sex and the City, Kristen Davis is a single mom raising 2 adopted black children.
Sounds racist.
So this is going to be interesting today because I have to admit that, I have certain feelings about this whole interracial adoption.
Facts don't care about your feelings, Grandma. Seriously, are they your grandchildren? No? So then how you gonna feel some kind of way somebody else taking somebody else's that really don't make no damn sense. What the hell is she wearing? Rich people.
Because I think it's really, really hard.
Here's the grandmother coming in with, yeah, this day is going to be hard because I got to mask my racism. You have certain feelings, that's called being racist. Look at Jada Pinkett. That's what she's actually wearing. That looks like a bathrobe.
Raising black children today.
Yeah, it's so sensitive.
It is.
But I think we all...
Literally, both of your kids are like adults. Like, your children are grown at this point. You technically, by all means, raised them already. So what do you mean? Like, this is not a problem. I know Nana's plumbing's taken care of. It's done. God took care of that, and I'm not sure about Jada's, but she more than likely isn't on deck for any more kids either. So yeah, your job is done. Why are you even worrying about what's going on with that white lady and her kids?
I have a lot of misunderstandings about it, but I'm so glad that Kristen is here with us today to just...
I'm willing to share about it.
Yeah, to just clean up some
thing.
of the misunderstandings that we have and just to educate us about the process.
God, I sense rage within them, don't you? Do you feel the...
Yeah, I actually do. Because they're being real self-righteous and emotional. Notice what the first thing she said was, oh, this is how I feel about it. Lady, oh my goodness, go find a scent stick and sit on it.
anger just right under that veneer of makeup and Botox. It's just toxic.
And what her experiences have been.
Yeah,
So,
because I do know love is not enough.
But here's...
What? Hold on, go back.
Because I do know love is not enough.
What do you mean I do know love is not enough? That's exactly wrong. Love is enough. Can you imagine an adoption agency who abides by that philosophy? You're going to love the child? Well, not enough. Actually, it isn't enough when it comes to you have to be economically stable and have...
Yeah, that was kind of the point. That was that's the only reason I didn't just pause that automatically, was because, yeah, the love really isn't enough. You need the cash, and it is expensive as all balls to raise a child these days. You saying they're worrying about, what some white woman with money who actually has the financial means to raise a kid is doing with a child that's not even of any blood relation to you. They just happen to share a skin tone. I mean, here's something you're going to keep hearing. They keep calling the kid African American. Do we know this? I mean, he was born in America, but he might be Jamaican or something else like that. I mean, I don't know. Did you check the rings? Did we check the rings? I'm not sure.
Safe environment, but that's not what she's talking about. She's like, you can love them, but if you ain't the same race, ooh, problems.
But here's the one thing I do know. We know this in our own family.
Right.
It's not that black families don't adopt, because we do adopt. It's
Exactly.
that
No, it is that you don't adopt.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Devin, because yeah, they do. How many nanas, how many aunties? My sister right now is raising our fuck up niece's son, and like I tried warning her, I tried telling her. She has no kids of her own, but she went and took this little boy, and I'm gonna love it and raise it like she's doing the exact same thing that these white women are doing. This is absolutely no different, except for like there's no paperwork involved because of the relationship. It usually just happens to just go that way. They end up with guardianship. So it's not really particularly adoption in the traditional sense, but yeah, that is rampant throughout the black community. So that's 6% that you brought up a little bit earlier. Trust me, I really don't think it takes into account that reality that in the black community, because of the degeneracy, the degradation, and the overall poison that's been placed into these communities. A lot of the young ladies, they can't handle the children. The father, like they pick terrible guys to have babies with on purpose because they know there will be the government assistance. And then when the kid turns out to be too much, they'll either kill it, because that's happened a ton of times, or they'll drop it off with my sister and keep it pushing.
Percent is black, 77 is white.
we don't go through the legal system.
Black's not abiding by the law? No.
We've had family members that have had to raise grandchildren,
Right.
5 at a time.
Right.
You know, I've taken...
Yeah, and that's not just because people want to adopt. It's because the dads are nowhere to be seen. And sometimes the moms are
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the combination of the two. It's the father and the mothers. I mean, but more so with the mothers, because they're the ones who, she could have an abortion, She didn't have to take that cream pie, but she did. So in this area, this is probably going to be the main part of the video. But in this area, yeah, like this is a huge part of the deterioration of the black, a descendant of slave community here in America, is that the government has made it advantageous for the woman to not have the man. They've done this for generations now. And it's now coming on out to the Caucasian sectors, but yeah, we were here first, and so the ladies have absolutely no incentive to pick better fathers or anything else like that. And then there's girls who get pregnant by good dudes and just send them through the ringer. Why? Because of the poison, that poisonous mentality in our communities, where it's all exalting the feminine principles when that's just a road to chaos.
Out. So yeah, that's why the grandparents have to step in. It's a tourniquet. It's not something to be proud of.
Oh, I've taken on kids. I could have taken on more.
Right. And
I could have done something, but I didn't do it, but I could have.
People that you brought into your home and raised, but you haven't legally adopted them.
But that's what people of color do.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You should be raising the ones that drop out your cooch, and that's about it. Call it a day. Get your grandkids. Get your grandkids on weekends and stuff like that. And we should be raising our people better, but we don't do that because we're incentivized not to.
Take other people's kids and raise them.
No, what? You don't do that. Look at the stats. Oh, we amazing. High five, Grandmama. You're about to interview a woman who's actually doing the thing that you didn't do, but said you could have done. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Naven, I'm not a natural born child. I'm not. You were left on our doorstep, but we raised you like you were one of us. I'm gonna stay this color? Naven, I'd love you if you were the color of a baboon's ass.
Exactly.
Within our extended families,
Without going through the system.
You know what's great? Should white people adopt black kids? As opposed to what? Just leaving black kids in foster care? Oh, here's another one. Should foster parents be white? I mean, you guys are having unwanted children, okay? And even the ones that you keep in your community are having a little bit of trouble making it through childhood and adolescence. You're not churning.
And that's because, a large part of that's because of the policies that were put in place that completely incentivize the removal of the fathers. I mean, it's really fanciful to sit here and say, oh, yeah, well, I'm saying black daddies ain't never going to be there. Ain't never been there. I am living proof that is bullshit. Okay? They want to be there. They'd love to be there. But the way that these communities are structured and the way in which we've incentivized women going at it on their own, and you see all the propaganda these days. Girl, you don't need no man. You're strong. Yes, slay queen. All that bullshit. Yeah, it's it all plays a part. It's very nuanced, and it all plays a part in the way that the communities, that particularly the black and urban communities, have come out.
Obamas. Okay? So I think you should take all the help you can get, but please judge this woman and let's see her just go into a woke frenzy. Watch this woman just kiss black ass like you've never seen before in your life.
Hello, RTT family. Today we are talking about interracial adoption, specifically white families that adopt black children. And we have a very special guest here today.
Yes.
Kristen Davis.
You're on the hot seat because you stole a couple of our black kids.
And she is going to talk to us about her journey.
Journeys. We're all about journeys. They talk about it on The Bachelor. My life, it's been a journey. I've had chapters. There's ups and downs in my journey. God is such an overused word. Just stop.
With adopting her two beautiful black children.
We have yet to determine that. Let's tap the brakes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
She's still pretty as hell, ain't she? I mean, she really is.
This has been a topic, a topic that I've had a lot of questions about, and over the
kind of a
years.
sore spot for me.
Yeah,
Yeah. How many different ways can you say you're a racist without just admitting you're a racist?
for Gammy. And
Gammy, you tripping.
I understand it's a hot button.
Yeah.
It's something that people have really strong feelings about.
Yeah, why would a young black kid who has no parents want to be living with this multimillionaire woman who loves them and will take care of them? I mean, Jesus. Hot button, am I right?
And obviously I have strong feelings because I love my children so
Right,
much and they've been such a gift to me. But because my children are African American, I feel like it is my duty and my job to do as much research
As much research.
So my question is, I mean, if she's doing this as a single mom, there's plenty of brothers that would have definitely skeeted up in her and got her that baby. I mean, my hand's in the air right now. I'll definitely like if you wanted them to have a connection to their black roots and everything else like that, yo, you could have pumped out a couple black babies, man. You had to go pick some up from the store, but
as much research, as much work, build as many bridges as possible because you are their community.
Huh? No, they're not. They don't know these people. You're their community, Mom. You are the whole thing. You're the beginning, middle, and end. I mean, what a fucking retardedly racist thing to say. You know, my white child, I really want them to be in touch with the white community because that's their people.
Yeah.
And that is key and that is so important.
Right.
So I work at that every day trying to figure out how I can make sure they have access to the black community.
Then show them reruns of Fat Albert.
They're part of it.
or freaking Don't Be a Menace, Boys in the Hood, Colors. There's endless media. Like there's endless media that you can, if you want to sit there and be like, oh yeah, this is what I guess blackness is, because ultimately you can only give them the life that you can give them as far as what they're connected to. And when it comes to their ethnicity, which, I mean, sure, they're African American, whatevs. Like, if that really shouldn't be top priority, because your top priority is raising them to be decent people, or it should be. But as the situation with Charlize Theron shows, there's different agendas at play. And I don't care if the kid is white or brown or black or whatever. When it comes to that whole gender game, I'm not a fan. And I'm not saying that she's doing that with her kids at all. Like, I mean, as far as I know, she may be fantastic with them, but as far as interracial adoption, I'd much prefer it be like, if you're gonna adopt a kid, if you're gonna these adoption agencies, if they're gonna be giving these kids out, give them to couples, give them to mothers and fathers. I'm not 100% sure why they give them to single moms, because for women to be single moms, and we know why the women want the children, and that, once again, color doesn't really matter. It's a matter of having that status symbol as a single mother, because oh my goodness, I'm a single mother that struggles so hard. It's such a good story and makes them feel as if they're accomplishing something, when in all reality, in most cases, they're destroying the children that they're getting, and that has nothing to do with race. And I think we've run my mouth long enough, and we can stop it there. There's more that I want to get into, because she talks about the black hair thing and all this other stuff, but it's really nonsensical when you break it down to the nitty gritty. And it's that they're giving these children to single moms, to single women. And these women, such as Charlize Theron, are doing everything that they can to psychologically break them. And that's not to say Kristen Davis is doing that, because it doesn't get into those details in this video. But I don't think that the worrying about the color thing is evident. There's an old movie called Louis, not evident, but is pertinent to raising a decent human being. There's an old movie called Losing Isaiah, where there's a scene, and the kid, the little black kid, he has an older sister, and the older sister takes the little black kid hands, and she says, "You know the difference between my hands and yours?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, mine is smaller." And so that's the way kids see things. When they pick up on it, that's when it should be addressed. But until then, it's not. I don't think that it should be something to be worried about. I think it's something that, the best way to address it is by not addressing it at all. Like, yo, you're my son. I love you. boom, I'm gonna try to get you a dad, I guess. I don't know, because I mean, Kristen Davis, if you need a daddy for him, I got your back, mama. All right. So guys, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you liked it, toss me a like. If you dislike it, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get more videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Should we really care? As long as they have the means to take care of the child, should we care that it's interracial, or should we care that it's single moms that are doing this adopting as opposed to the traditional nuclear family unit? Because there's this whole contingency of people who like to pretend as if the nuclear family unit is like, you know, single parent households are the exact same as nuclear family units, and statistics have borne that fact that that's bullshit. So all that being said, until the next one.